Hello, guys, and welcome back to Game Time Decision here on the Max Wagers Network. I'm here with Nick and no Lenny today. He had some other stuff he had to do during this time, so no Lenny. He'll be back tomorrow. But we've got a 4-game NBA slate to go over some injury reports for. We've got a little bit of a hockey slate as well. I think 11 games, and then we'll see where the show takes us from there. I really don't know what else we have really to talk about today. Maybe look at some baseball stuff or whatever goes our way. But yeah, before we jump into everything, make sure you guys check out Caesar Sportsbook. It's the official sponsor of Picks and Parlays. You get use code MORNINGCZR first bet insurance up to $1,100. So it makes you guys go ahead and check all that out, along with me and Nick's package over on the EarlSportsBets.com website. 7 days for $49. We'll go ahead and jump into some NBA action. I'm going to kick Nick out of here, and we're going to go and break down some NBA for today. We got a 4-game slate, so a little bit of a small slate, not a big deal. Actually, it's kind of nice that it's a little bit of a smaller slate. We'll start off. The Warriors are in Orlando taking on the Magic. It's a 7.5-point spread, total of 214.5. No Curry for the Golden State Warriors today. Andrew Wiggins is probable with a left knee contusion. Other than that, everybody else who normally plays should be good to go for today. It'd be a lean towards the Magic for me in this one, but ultimately I did not get to anything for this game. The Hawks are in New York taking on the Knicks. We've got Julius Randle, the big name, out in this game for the Knicks. Bogdanovich remains questionable with a quad injury. Rose still not there. Collins still not there. Other players who are been out for a while still not there for this one. Be leaning towards the dog in the Knicks, but once again, nothing I wanted to go and pull the trigger on. Here's the only game that I did pull the trigger on. The Bulls are at the Bucks. Bulls on a second leg of a back-to-back. This is an 8-point spread now, total of 233.5. I got it at 5.5, so I got it at a good line. I like the Bucks. No Middleton today, which is fine. I like them even more. Giannis is probable. He'll play. I'm not worried about that one. Zach LaVine is questionable for this game, so we'll see whether or not he will go with a knee injury there. Lonzo Ball out. Other than that, everybody should be good to go in this one. I don't know if I would lay the 8 points on him at this point, but I got him at 5.5, so Bucks are the only thing that I have in the NBA. Besides one thing in this game, the Clippers are in Denver taking on the Nuggets. Still no Kawhi, no Paul George, no Norman Powell. The Nuggets could be expecting to see Michael Porter Jr. within the week. Could be good for them. Jamal Murray, new reports, he's still a far ways out. They might be able to get him back for playoffs, but that is not a guarantee at this time. It's a 6.5-point spread for the Nuggets, total of 222. With the Timberwolves lost last night, the Nuggets are back up in that 6th spot, and I think they start to build a little bit on that. I have them winning today, obviously. I don't know if they cover necessarily. 6.5 is a little bit of a bigger spread, and Denver's not really keen on covering huge spreads. One thing I will have on this game, it's a plus 225, is Nikola Jokic triple-double, because that's kind of what he's been doing all year. So why not keep riding that? But that is all the games in the NBA. Not a lot for today, which is nice. It's kind of more of a day off in terms of NBA for me. We'll go ahead and bring Nick back into the stream because I know he has a little bit bigger of a card, and that is in the NHL. So, Nick, you want to go ahead and break down some NHL for us?
Yeah, I guess. Why not? We're looking at the NHL. We're going to kick it off here. The first matchup of the night, the New York Rangers are at the New Jersey Devils in this spot here. Igor Shesterkin, Nico Dodge, your expected goalies for this game. None are confirmed yet. On the Rangers side, no Sammy Blau, no Cabo Caco, no Kevin Rooney. Pavel Zacha is questionable for this game. Keep an eye out for him. The Devils now have 3 goalies on IR. Bernier, Blackwood. They did get Andrew Hammond, who currently is injured, but it'll be interesting to see if they play him at all when he is healthy, because I think that would be the 8th goalie they've had this season. At this spot here, I like the Devils. I like the team total over 2.5. I wouldn't rely on them to win the game straight up tonight. I expect them to put up at least 3 goals though. And if you wanted the money line, I think that you should have gotten it last night when it was plus 150, plus 155. Now at plus 120, plus 130. I wouldn't really go after the money line for the Devils. Now, next matchup here, the Columbus Blue Jackets are at the Pittsburgh Penguins in this spot here. Penguins massive favorites. Jonas Korpisalo in net for Columbus. Tristan Jarry for Pittsburgh. Elvis Merzlikins is questionable. That's why they have Korpisalo in tonight. No Boquist, no Gerby, no Boone Jenner, no Texier. On the other side, no Brock McGinn. They got Nathan Bayou from Winnipeg. He's not available. Zucker's been out for a while. I'm staying completely off of Pittsburgh games. I want nothing to do with Pittsburgh. I want nothing to do with betting on them, nothing to do with betting against them. So absolutely nothing here. St. Louis and Washington, your next matchup here. Vitek Vanacek confirmed in net. Ville Husso expected in net. Don't be surprised if it's Jordan Binnington. They have not confirmed a goalie yet, and I have a feeling it could be Binnington. Tyler Bozak, Vladimir Tarasenko, Paranovich, and Robert Thomas all out for these Blues. Nick Dowd and TJ Oshie are questionable for tonight. Carl Hagelin, Larson, Snivy, and Van Riemsdyk are all out. I like the Capitals in this spot here. I took their team total over 3.5 at plus 105. This Blues team just hasn't been playing that great as of late, so I'm not looking to back them, which is kind of annoying because I do have a few futures on the Blues, but it is what it is. Our next matchup here, kind of our marquee matchup of the night. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. Andrei Vasilevsky confirmed in net tonight. Frederick Anderson expected in net. Max Domi, Martinook, and Gardner are all out. No injuries on the side of Tampa Bay, which is super surprising knowing their past. I'm going with the Hurricanes in this spot here. I think that the Hurricanes have been putting up decent numbers. They just haven't gotten the results. So I'm on the Hurricanes money line, and I'd lean over in this game, but did not bet the total. I just prefer Carolina in this spot. Next matchup here, the Philadelphia Flyers are at the Detroit Red Wings in this spot. Flyers will have Carter Hart in net expected, Alex Nedeljkovic expected. Flyers still without Couturier, Ellis, Lawton, and Thompson. Detroit without DeKaiser, Fabry, Rowney, and Stevens. Complete pass on this game. 1-800-GAMBLER, bum fight, whatever you want to call it. There is a bigger 1-800-GAMBLER game, though, that deserves the 1-800-GAMBLER more than that one, though. Our next matchup here is the Ottawa Senators and the New York Islanders. Antoine Forsberg expected in net for the Senators. Semyon Varlamov confirmed in net for the Islanders. Harmonic, a new acquisition from Vancouver, out tonight. Batherson, Shabbat, Crookshank, Murray, and Pinto all remain out for the Sens. On the Islander side, it's just Cal Clutterbuck. So relatively healthy Islanders team. I like the Islanders to take care of business against a team that they have owned all season long. They've played twice. They've puck lined them in both games. Give me the Islanders puck line. Our next game here, Vegas Golden Knights are at the Winnipeg Jets in this spot here. We have Laurent Brossoit expected in net. Connor Hellebuck confirmed in net. The list is still long here for these Vegas Golden Knights for injuries. Nicholas Haig, Zach Whitecloud, Robin Lehner, Alec Martinez, Brendan McNabb, Max Pasquaretti, Riley Smith, and Mark Stone. On the other side, Adam Lowry and Cole Perfetti are the only ones that are out for these Winnipeg Jets. I'm on the over in this game. I like goals in the spot here. I lean towards the Jets in regulation or on the puck line if I had to get to a side. but I like over Jets and Knights. Next matchup here, Oilers are at the Stars. Mikko Koskinen expected in net for the Oilers as Mike Smith did go last night. On the other side, Jake Ottinger confirmed in net. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins remains out along with Clefbaum, who has been out all year. Vladimir Nemestikov is out for Dallas, their new acquisition from Detroit. Mira Heiskanen is also out as well. I'm on the over in this game as well. I like goals. And then into our later games, I don't have anything from the 3 late games. So my night ends at 8:30 with that Edmonton game. San Jose is at the Calgary Flames. We have, my bad. There we go. Clicking stuff. James Reimer confirmed in net. Jacob Markstrom also confirmed in net. We have Dahlin, Nieto, Fierro, and LeBlanc all out for the Sharks. Ryan Carpenter, the new acquisition for the Flames from the Blackhawks, I don't think is available for tonight. I lean Flames puck line, but I'm not laying that type of juice with the Flames. Or I'm not laying that type of juice on that line with them being a minus 330. Next matchup here. There we go. Here it is. It is the...
Stop it. Get some help.
Game of the night. Seattle Kraken are at the Arizona Coyotes in this one here. Philip Grubauer confirmed in net for the Kraken. Kirill Vizhmelka for the Coyotes. Brandon Tanev is the only player on the injured list for Seattle, as they've traded all the other players that way it feels like. Coyotes, Jacob Chikrin out. Liam Kirk, Antoine Roussel, Andrew Ladd, and Chris Timmons are all out. Want nothing to do with this bum fight. Absolutely nothing at all. Final matchup of the night. The Nashville Predators are at the LA Kings. David Rittich could be in net tonight, which could be interesting and may make me want to have a play on the Kings if Rittich is in net. Ekholm is questionable in this game. Benning has been out. Jonathan Quick confirmed in net. No Mikey Anderson, no Victor Arvidsson, no Athanasiou, no Dustin Brown, no Drew Doughty, no Brendan Lemieux, no Matt Waugh, and no Sean Walker for the Kings. I'm going to finish this night off with a pass on the last game. But that is everything from the NHL for today. I'm going to bring Tim back in here.
Oh, sorry. Wasn't paying attention.
I could tell that. I could tell.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
You're good. But yeah, full slate in the NHL there tonight for me. I know a smaller slate for the NBA for you, though.
Yeah, which I'm fine with. And the one play I have is, I beat line movement on it, but I beat the line movement on the Heat last night, and we saw how that worked out. So,
yeah, I wonder if we looked at lines that like you beat massive line movements on, how effective is that in the NBA?
We could definitely. We could start tracking that next year and see.
If a line moves 3 points, does it favor the team it moved to, or does it?
Well, what we can start doing next year is when the lines open up, we go and look at those, and then we look at game time where the odds are then or during the game time decision. And if anything, either if it's if the side moves at least say 3 points, or if the total moves 5 points, we try to see why it moved and whether or not the line movement was worth the line movement. We can start tracking that starting next year because we're already deep into the season and there's no real way to be able to go back and check all those lines.
Yep.
We'll go ahead and say hi to the chat and try to figure out something to talk about because I don't really know. Good vibes. Yes, good vibes. We get a yo from Joe Kryptonite. Yes, from Jojo Rabbit. And that's the entire chat. Now, we got baseball stuff, but we'll probably do a complete show on that another time. Any kind of thoughts towards like spring training? Anything? Have you looked towards spring training stuff at all, Nick? No,
No.
not really.
If there's a couple things I probably would look at if I were to handicap spring training. One being, do the managers care? Kind of handicap is similar to the way we handicapped preseason football. And look for who's the John Harbaugh of MLB spring training that wants to go out there and win games. Like we saw today with the Toronto Blue Jays. I saw they had their full lineup in a random game against the Yankees today. So see which manager keeps their players or puts in their starters during spring training, which manager has their starters go longer. Maybe look for those that give their starters 3 at-bats rather than 2 at-bats.
I don't mind that.
Things along those lines. And then just look for, obviously, lineup advantages because we know some days they're going to put out their starters. Some days they're going to look to put in their guys who may just they're minor league guys, the ones that won't be in anywhere close to the majors come opening day. I actually did see a lineup card today for one team that I saw an interesting player on it that hits a little bit closer to Greenville, North Carolina here with outfielder Alec Burleson playing in some preseason games for the St. Louis Cardinals, former ECU Pirate. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and then also keep in mind, I think later on in the spring, we could get some split team type deals, where one team will play like New York Mets A will end up playing the Blue Jays or something, and then New York Mets B will still play on that same day that the A plays, and they'll play against the Cardinals or something. So
yes, that does happen. They have split squads.
So
and they'll mark those as well.
Yeah, keep in mind, keep an eye on all that, and also keep in mind it's spring training. Go after the teams that are rebuilding. Go after the teams that are young, that care, like the Royals, the Marlins, who else is doing
the ones where their roster is still a question mark.
Red Sox are 4-0, Cardinals are 4-0, Marlins are 3-1, Blue Jays are 4-1. White Sox are 4-1. Royals are 2-0.
Generally, those teams, you'll notice those teams that start off hot will finish the spring at like 19-9. Like you can find teams to ride a little bit with that.
Yeah,
and that's where you gotta look for the managers who care.
And then start fading teams like the Yankees. Like fade the Yankees. They're 1-3 to start. Fade the Padres. Don't go after like the Diamondbacks or the Giants. The Dodgers don't care. Oakland's probably going to be one of the worst teams in the league. Astros probably don't care. So just look at the different teams and judge it off of that, because you're not going to get a lot of teams that necessarily care during spring training besides the young ones. So we'll start looking more into that. Will we come out with spring training plays? Probably not. Maybe one or two, but I'm probably not going to. I'm not. I mean, I put a couple dollars on the Blue Jays today because I did the show with Terry. I'm like, hey, why not? NBA picked. Yes, I like the Bucks, but I got them at 5.5, so I'm not sure. Been busy lately. The show's starting earlier now. It's been it's been at 5:00 for the last month and a half. So, any plays in college basketball today? No, we're waiting for the Sweet 16. We're not doing any more of the little tournaments. They've sucked, and we're not interested. Do you think the Reds could beat the Dodgers? 100%.
He's asking about a spring training game right now. Please don't look to live bet spring training.
I was talking. Yes, I think they could. I mean, they have a guy on second with one out, but Walker Buehler is still pitching in the 5th?
Yep.
What? That doesn't make sense. But yes, I do, because they'll eventually go to the bullpen with a bunch of arms that don't really see. Down one. Yep. It's time change here. It's 4:20. Okay, then.
Nice.
Then it starts at 4:00 for you then.
Oh yeah, 4:00 your time.
So, yeah, just keep an eye on spring training. I mean, you don't need to bet it. There's other stuff going on right now, but if you are to bet it, speaking of the Reds, they just tied it up. just keep an eye. Normally I go to what is it, Roto Grinder? You can go on to and find all the
Roto
lineups
Grinder,
and stuff.
Roto Wire,
Any of those, they'll give you the complete lineups and stuff for some of these teams. Give you the starting pitchers, give you the lineups. You can dig into some of those stats and try to figure out how deep they really allow the hitters to hit or anything. So it's kind of a spot that you can look at. Yeah, you forgot to put it. It just happened, so that sucks. But yeah, just keep an eye on it. I mean, it's not really, you don't have to go crazy. I know I'm not going crazy. I'll probably have a couple of plays throughout the entire spring training. If you want baseball right now, go to college. Do college baseball, even though freaking Liberty is not playing well for me right now. But I have a couple other plays. But if you want, or if you're interested in baseball, look at college baseball. It's a little bit more competitive right now. The teams care. It's during the regular season. So just a thought on that one. Any new stuff with the trade deadline for NHL, or is that all done from yesterday?
Yeah, that was all yesterday. So it's going to be interesting to see which teams, how teams react to this. Like for me, when it comes to the trade deadline here, it's more of me looking at which teams I'm going to fade rather than which teams I'm going to bet on. Because we already know.
Do you think any team significantly got better because of this?
I like what the Rangers did yesterday.
What did they do?
They picked up a few players. They got Andrew Kopp from the Winnipeg Jets. That's a nice little depth guy. He's been scoring a little bit this year. They got. I need to look up their lineup now so I can read off the players they got.
Well, any teams that kind of weren't cup contenders that you think are cup contenders now, or teams that were on the edge of like a playoff run, or you thought would be able to make a little bit of a run, have a better shot at it now because they picked up certain players?
No, but there's two teams that really point out to me that I'm surprised didn't make a move at the deadline.
Okay.
Or didn't get the position they needed, which was goaltending. And that would be the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah.
They went out and they didn't get anybody. The Leafs got Mark Giordano, a defenseman, that was a nice little pickup. Former captain of the Calgary Flames. He played for Seattle this year. And that was about it. And the Oilers, they got Brent Kulak from the Montreal Canadiens, which was a depth defenseman. I mean, neither of those teams. I'm surprised that they did nothing. Like the Maple Leafs did nothing, and their goaltending is terrible. So the only thing they did was put Peter Mrazek on waivers, which he claimed he cleared waivers. So nobody even claimed him. I was just surprised that they didn't go out and get anybody.
Do you think there's anybody on waivers that they can go out and get?
No, but there were some goalies that I'm surprised weren't traded. Like, I'm surprised John Gibson didn't go. I'm surprised Semyon Varlamov wasn't traded. I'm surprised that the Rangers didn't move Georgiev. I guess they wanted him as a backup, which he looked good against Carolina. But there's a few goalies that I was surprised didn't go anywhere. I saw Kirill Vizmelka re-signed in Arizona. They're saying he's the goaltender of the future for right now for Arizona. They got rid of Wedgewall. We saw goalie movements. I'm surprised. Even Kaapo Kakkonen. I'm surprised they didn't go after him after the Wild got Marc-Andre Fleury. They had three goalies, so they traded away Kaapo Kakko to San Jose for a defenseman. I'm surprised maybe they didn't go after him either. Like, I'm surprised there was goalies available for Toronto to go after that were improvements over Jack Campbell and whoever they have. Like, I'm just surprised they didn't go after anyone. Same with the Oilers. Both those teams saying we trust Jack Campbell and Mikko Koskinen. Sorry, if they make the playoffs, I'm fading both those teams.
I can imagine that. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You don't have college baseball. DM me on Twitter and I'll let you know a book that does have it. I don't know. Does Caesar Sportsbook have college baseball? I don't know. I personally don't have Caesars because it's not available in my state, so I can't really say yes or no to that. But I have a book that has it, so if you DM me on Twitter, I'll let you know. Under/UTEP plus Vandy. We didn't really look at college basketball for the lower tournaments. They have not been going well for us, so we just decided to cut them off and just focus on the tournament. Or on the main tournament. So no real plays for the college basketball for the smaller stuff, the NIT, the CBI, the CIT, the basketball classic.
Those are annoying.
But do you really have? What else do we have? Because I really don't have any big NFL type deals going on.
We saw Matt Ryan go to Indianapolis.
Yeah, we kind of I think we touched on that one yesterday. I saw that I think Baker wanted to get traded to Colts, and they said no, thank you. I don't really know anything. I don't really have much other big stuff today. You love the Matt Ryan move to the Colts.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think a change in scenery could be good for him.
I don't know. Because the Colts were one win away from a playoff spot, which I think that they could have gone pretty far in the playoffs if they went and beat the Bills in the playoffs, because I think that would have been their first round matchup. I don't know. Well, Matt Ryan did play okay last year, and he'll have an offensive line, so he won't get sacked 40 times this year, which is good for him. But do we really think that Matt Ryan is the solution to the Colts? And I think that's going to be yet to be seen, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no for right now. Obviously, we'll see whether or not they I will say if Jonathan Taylor is healthy at the end of the year and has played 16, 17 games if he's played almost every single game this year, then they're probably in a playoff spot. And he gets at least 20 carries or something per game. They're going to beat the crap out of him.
Use him though. We saw what happened with Derrick Henry.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see with that one. Super Bowl contenders just needed a wide receiver. Are they? Are they Super Bowl contenders? I don't know. I don't know about that one. He's playing.
I think they were a dark horse. They're a dark horse.
Oh yeah, the Colts are always a dark horse, so I'll say that one.
And not just their mascot.
You're a Raiders fan, Devontae Adams, Raider Nation. I think Raiders did a good job so that they'll be able to finish third in the division.
I think
the Chargers are better than the Chargers and the Chiefs.
Only two teams make it from the West. I think they beat each other up enough where they put themselves a little bit lower, and you're going to see a team like the Browns make it in, or in a wild card spot, or the Ravens.
I'll say,
or like the Colts.
Whoever makes it from the AFC West
is not winning a playoff game.
Yeah, I don't think they win a playoff game. I really don't. And you think he's? I think so. Better than Baker. Baker's just younger. I don't know how much more you're going to be able to get out of Matt Ryan. Can you imagine if they got Russ? Yeah, if they got Russ, Super Bowl contenders. 100%.
Absolutely. They didn't want Russ though.
Colts never win Super Bowl. Never win Super Bowl in another 5 years. You're saying that they don't? Yeah, I don't think they do. I don't think they do yet. Hey, Dad, how you doing? Bucks Super Bowl. I don't want to hear about Brady. I don't want.
I will have a ticket this year that says Tom Brady wins the MVP.
I sure hope not.
I will.
Can I have Tom Brady under passing yards? He's old. He's going to end up like pulling something in the middle of the season. He's going to be done.
When has he ever done that?
He's getting
this guy is always in phenomenal shape. Like, have you?
He could be, yeah.
If you look at his routine and everything like that, there's a reason he's entering his 23rd season in the NFL, and Ben Roethlisberger's retired.
I have a feeling that Brady's going to end up getting beat up, and he's going to be out by week 6.
I think he'll be fine.
At least that's not what I'm hoping, but I don't like Brady. I'm not a Brady person. NFC West had 3 teams get out. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
But NFC was a little bit weaker last year. So I don't know. Colts had the right thought with Rivers. They needed a veteran, but Ryan is the right style quarterback. Wentz was a
I can
mistake.
see that.
I think Wentz is going to have a good year in Washington. And I'll probably have a ticket for Washington to win the division because look at the rest of the division. I think Matt Ryan will be
I'd bet
okay.
the Cowboys before the
I still think the Titans are going to win the division over the Colts.
Yep.
But the Colts will be a number 2 because Texans and Jaguars. I don't think you're going to really have to worry about those two teams.
That right there, having 4 games against the Texans and 4 games against the Jaguars, or 2-2, 4 games combined against the Texans and the Jaguars,
should be 4 free wins.
That's going to be the reason the Colts get a wild card spot over the Chargers, the Raiders, the Chiefs, or the Broncos.
Yeah, just because the AFC West teams have to face the AFC West.
Exactly.
For 2-2-2. So that's kind of a gauntlet where you can see each team going 3-3 against each other, beating each other up, and none of the teams get better than, say, 11 wins.
Yeah.
Like if the first one to 10 wins in that AFC West will win the division. I really don't think any of the teams are going to outright dominate the other teams. The only team I could see doing that is the Kansas City Chiefs, who just added Juju. But this
offense is gonna be so good. I want to be a Chiefs backer this year. I think a lot.
I hope not. I'd rather go Chargers to make it out. I think do they have betting odds for divisional winners in the NFL for next year? That's the question. I know it's still far away. NFL futures to win the division. Here you go. I would take a shot at plus 225 with the Chargers. Maybe plus 650 with the Raiders. Chiefs are 150, 275 for the Broncos. I think the Broncos are overpriced.
Tom Brady at 10-1 to win the MVP.
If I had to go and bet futures, probably nothing for the AFC East. Bills are minus 215 to win the division. Maybe you throw a sprinkle on the Dolphins at 600, but probably nothing with there. Browns, Ravens, Bengals, Steelers. Bengals are plus 220 to win that division. That could be an interesting spot.
They're going to be overvalued this year.
I don't think so because they went out and they picked up some linemen, and I think they'll be a little bit better next year, and they'll have the experience. Colts are currently the favorites to win the division at plus 115. I'm not touching that one because 115, 120. I mean, you could bet both and then make profit as long as one of them wins the division, not the Jaguars or Texans. So that's easy money. Kansas City Chiefs are plus 150, 225 for the Chargers, 275 for the Broncos, 650 for the Raiders. For those, Commanders at plus 375 would probably be my pick to win the division because the Cowboys are minus 115. Probably look towards Vikings or Bears if I have to bet an NFC North team just because the Packers are minus 215. Looking towards maybe the Falcons it depends on who the Falcons get as a quarterback.
Buccaneers.
Buccaneers are minus 275, so I'm not going to go out and bet that. Probably lean towards the Saints or the Falcons. And then for the NFC West, you can get the Cardinals at 3-1. So I think that would be a good spot for the Cardinals to win it over the Rams, over the 49ers. But we'll see. Please watch Tom Brady be back for a reason. Vegas love. I'm not a Brady person. I'm not bringing up your other comment because that's not anything. Real quick, this will probably be a shorter show. Any baseball futures in terms of divisional winners, in terms of World Series, league winners, anything like that, pennants, Cy Youngs, MVPs?
Tigers, 550
for the division.
Yep, Tigers.
I mean, you gotta kind of take a stab there, or I would even go as low as the Royals plus 1,200 if I'm taking a shot.
I kind of like the Yankees at plus 200 to win the AL East.
I will contradict you and say the Red Sox at plus 475.
I mean, I don't hate that one either. I would lean Yankees if I had to bet anything, though, because they still have a very strong lineup. They still got a decent pitching staff. Um, they've got a lot of power though. They're too reliant on the home run ball to take for me to bet them to win the World Series. The Yankees, but to win the division, I think they can.
AL West, I know we both like the Mariners.
Yeah, I like the Mariners a
NL
little bit here.
Central,
I
Cardinals
mean, if
are
you want to take
nothing.
a shot in the West, look at Texas. They made some moves in the
16-1.
offseason, and they're 20-1.
Yeah. NL Central, it's Cardinals or nothing. Not laying -150 with the Brewers. In the East, I would take a shot with the Phillies or the Marlins if I have
I'd take a shot with the Marlins at plus 950.
Just because I'm not betting +140 for the Braves or +140 for the Mets. Once again, that's another scenario where I think you could go and bet the Braves and the Mets and probably be fine. And then if I had to take a shot with the West, maybe the Giants at +525.
But I don't think I can. I can't bet the West. I think the Dodgers.
I don't think you can bet the West at all. MLB team wins. There was a couple of them that I was looking at. I like the Baltimore Orioles over 62.5. I would kind of look towards the Yankees under 92.5. Maybe look towards the Dodgers under 97.5. Marlins over 76.5.
Yep. I was going to say that the Marlins over. Tigers over 78.5.
Oakland way under the 71.
They play money ball.
Padres under 88.5. Give me the Rays under 89.5.
Rangers.
I want to take Washington over 71.5. I'm still looking at them.
And I kind of like the Blue Jays. I think the Blue Jays are a juggernaut this year, potentially.
But 91 wins in an AL East, I would take the under. I don't think they win 92 games this year. I think the winner of that AL East will have 90 wins max, just because they're facing each other constantly. 18 games against each divisional opponent, minus the fact that maybe each team can go, say, 13-5, 12-6 versus the Baltimore Orioles.
I don't think the Baltimore Orioles are a pushover. I'm probably going to look to take their +2.5s a lot this year.
And I'll definitely I'll have a ticket probably for Baltimore Orioles over 62.5 wins.
Yeah, I love those games with the Orioles where you can get them at +300 when they're at home against the New York Yankees with Garrett Cole on the mound.
Yes, I love those. Yep. Back to the chat. You're liking the A's for under? Yes, I think they're probably going to be the worst team in the league. If I can make a bet for that one, I'd probably put the Oakland Athletics as the bottom of the league, below the Diamondbacks, below the Pirates, below the Orioles.
They do this all the time, though.
A's will be the worst team in the league.
They play Moneyball. Watch out for this
Virginia
team,
over. I can never take an over with Virginia anymore. We're done taking overs with the Virginia. The only chance that goes over if it goes to overtime. All right. I think that's pretty much it. We're gonna do a complete MLB show over on All Sports Bets sometime next week, I think. We'll break down all of the team totals, the rotations, the starting lineups. We'll dive deep into it. Might be like a 2-hour show.
I'll make a spreadsheet for it and everything.
So, and I'll have a bunch of futures bets in, and I'll have them all written down and all that good stuff. So, but we're probably just gonna end it here. I know it's a little bit of a quicker stream. Not really as much going on today. Sweet 16 starts in 2 days, so we'll definitely have a little bit more content when it comes to that. But that should wrap it up for today's show. Once again, if you guys are interested, checking out me and Nick over on Earl Sports Bets. We go live every day, Monday, every single day, 7 days a week, at anywhere from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over on the Earl Sports Bets YouTube channel. Check out our promo pass, all that good stuff. Max Wager Networks. Check out everybody there. Higgs at 12. I help produce that show. Ali at 1. Just Parlay at 2. They're kind of a fun group going with their parlays. Chris is really good with that stuff. He hit a 10-teamer the other day. Insane there. Scott and Scott at 3. Fun content there. The Call the Cops and the Rocking Chair segments, probably one of my favorite segments that I've seen out of most of these things, most of the shows. And then you got the main event, me, Nick, and normally Detroit Lenny is here for Game Time Decision every day, Monday through Friday at 5. But that is going to pretty much wrap it up for this one. Any closing words, Nick, before we head on out?
Nope, that's it.
Sounds good. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock for another edition of Game Time Decision presented by the Max Wagers Network. See you guys.